often tell people you shouldn't have to have a PhD to come to a concert and enjoy it. Even if this is your very first orchestra concert, my job is to make sure that the music moves you, that it has an impact. And so when I'm composing, I think about that. That's what I consider responsibility as the person who creates the notes on the page. I realize that a patron, an audience member, even the orchestra, they're giving some of their time. They're trusting us to give them an experience that is emotional, or it really does kind of leave an impression. And so I think about that when I'm writing. It's kind of like my main objective, to make sure that the music I'm writing is communicative. And you don't have to know anything about classical music. You don't have to have any kind of background in it. And this could be your first concert. There's a little bluegrass in there. There's a lot of lyrical tunes, great drama. But it's also just kind of fun to hear it and to work with the musician. I had originally picked Charles Fraser's novel, Cold Mountain, for my first opera after a couple of years looking for a story. That book is amazing. When I first started to read it, I knew within the first 5 pages that this was the story. But I think for me, looking back on it, I realized that having grown up in East Tennessee, that Cold Mountain's actually not that far from the farm I lived on. And I recognized the landscape and the language and the story. But opera is about drama. First and foremost, it's about love and death. Those are the 2 big themes I think you find in opera. And Charles Fraser's novel has loads of that in it. And an interesting cast of characters, and the characters in the opera kind of develop a personality. You can see them kind of going through the story with their storylines unfolding and them changing because the Civil War is going on and they're having to deal with some pretty hard stuff. So I thought it was a really rich story to pick for an opera. The opera was hugely popular. It sold out in Santa Fe. They had to add an extra performance, and that sold out like within a day, which was kind of unheard of. It sold out in Philadelphia. It sold out in North Carolina. It's done really well. It won the International Opera Award, and it also got 2 Grammy nominations. That's a lot for a first opera. So many people liked it that they started asking me, is there some sort of orchestral suite? So when I had a chance to do an orchestral suite, because it was such a popular thing and so many people were asking, I thought this might be perfect. But writing for orchestra, purely orchestra without the singers and musical lines, is a different challenge. It's one I kind of relish as a composer because you have to approach the music differently. It's got to convey the emotion, but without the words and the singers. So you have to rethink your orchestration. And you also, an opera is usually like 2.5, 3 hours. And I wanted something really self-contained here that would be succinct, to the point, and also very dramatic. So picking out the music and figuring out how to weave these things together into like a perfect little quilt of a drama was kind of an interesting challenge. So I had a lot of fun. It was amazing to revisit it and rethink the way I'd written, but also to figure out how to present that music to the orchestra and to the audience, because those are 2 really important components. Really, I can't write the music just by myself. It's got to actually be executed. But it's also kind of fun to share this story. Charles Fraser's Cold Mountain is it's a real winner. I'm very, very appreciative of Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra being a part of this consortium. It means a whole lot. So I have real gratitude for the support, and I'm thrilled to be able to share my music with you.